All right, guys, I want to tell you about a pretty brilliant jewelry scam that was going on. Then we're going to talk a little bit about the shady business with diamonds and jewelry, and just talk about some things of the underhanded ways of that industry in general. So what was going on was, in a lot of places, but especially in the big cities, they have these little jewelry pawn shops that they tell you on the sign right outside, we'll pay cash. You walk in, bring us your silver, diamonds, gold jewelry, and we'll pay cash on the spot. But the thing is, though, is they don't really pay too much. They way undercut. We'll get into that in a little bit. So here was the scam. Basically, these three guys were doing the scam, and how most of these places were is when you walk in, there is like a bulletproof window or just glass, whatever, whichever one that they use in that particular store. And the guy to test and check the jewelry is behind the window. It's all the way to the ceiling, so you can't get to him, you can't rob him. And there's a little slot to put the jewelry in. So what these three guys were doing was they would walk in with a 24 karat gold chain, a pretty long chain, like a 24-inch chain, and they would slip it under the window to the guy, and the guy would do all these tests on it. He would ask them if he could test it, and they would say yes. He would take a random link and test it, do some other things, and look at it closely and inspect it and determine that it was real, because it was real 24 karat gold 24-inch chain. So they would say, you know, well, what would you give me for that? And he would give them a price of what he would pay them for that gold chain on the spot. So the guy would just kind of say, I don't know, and put his hand up to the window for the guy to give the chain back. The guy, after he did all the testing and everything, would slip the chain back under the window in the slot to the guy. That guy would then kind of turn around to his buddies that were in there and say something kind of quiet. You know, you couldn't really see what he was saying. And he'd turn back around and he'd say, you know what? I need the money. I'll do it. Puts the chain back into the window slot. Says, I'll take it. Let's go ahead and give me the money. And we can go ahead and make this deal right now. I just need some money. So what they were doing was, when the guy would turn around and say something to his buddy about the price that was offered and, you know, about selling it, his buddy would slip him a fake 24-inch gold chain and take the real 24-inch gold chain. And then after all the testing was done and the chain was handed back and all this happened, they would then slip the fake chain through the window. Now, most of these pawn places were eating that up because they were, you know, just paying just a fraction of what that gold was worth, just a low fraction. And because of their greed, as soon as the guy was putting it back in the slot, they was taking the chain and paying him the cash. And then later, after that jewelry pawn shop had bounced that chain onto somebody else, people were coming back on them saying, hey, you know, you sold me fake jewelry. And then they would retest it and find out that it was in fact fake because of the scam. Now, there is a video on YouTube, I'll try to find it, showing these guys doing this scam, and the guy catches them. He doesn't take the chain, and the guy catches them. So what he does is, when they put the chain back in the slot, he tells them he's going to have to go through the whole testing process again. And the guy says, no, just give me the chain. I don't want the money, just give me the chain. And the guy takes the fake gold chain back and walks out with his buddies. So that was the scam. So let's talk about the jewelry business. Now, diamonds in particular, it's all a scam. So hear me out here. Just know that when you buy your girlfriend an engagement ring, or your soon-to-be wife a wedding ring, just know that you are only buying sentimental value, and there's nothing wrong with that. When I was engaged last time, I bought her a nice sparkly ring that could easily be seen from a distance in a well-lit room, because I knew that's what she wanted. But I knew that I was only paying for her happiness and sentimental value. Because here's the deal. Jewelry is marked up 300 to 700%. Your only real value when you buy diamonds and jewelry is in the little bit of gold or silver that's in the band of the jewelry. Now, if you are an ultra-rich millionaire and you're going into Beverly Hills and you're buying diamonds that people look through and test before you buy them, and they look for the certain cut, and you're paying tens of thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars, then you will have something worth more value, but you are still paying an inflated price for that jewelry. Now, if you buy like silver necklaces, gold necklaces, silver bracelets, gold bracelets, that is a way better item to have your money in than diamonds. There is such a scam out there with diamonds, and put together with diamonds and a gold woman's wedding band. There's so little gold in a wedding band. There's just not much at all. And the markup on diamonds and stuff, like I said, is 300% to 700%. You can do the math on that. So it's a big time scam. Now, there is nothing wrong with you buying your wife or your girlfriend a very nice, sparkly, expensive diamond ring, because you're buying that to make her happy, and it's sentimental value because she'll have that hopefully for a lifetime. So when I bought mine, when I was engaged, mine was roughly $4,000, just a little under. It might have been like $3,778, something like that, if I'm thinking correctly on the number. So it was just under $4,000, right, for the ring. It was really nice. It was exactly what she wanted, the cut. It was a square diamond. It was very sparkly, looked good. Had a white gold band, which is what she wanted. And when the engagement was off, I was stuck with this ring. I couldn't really do nothing with this ring. Nobody wanted this. If I did take it to people that would purchase these type of items, they would say, look, man, the only thing I'm interested in on this is a little bit of white gold that's on this band, and it's very little. You know, this was a 100-pound female. Her fingers were very small and petite, just like her, and the band wasn't thick, so there's very little white gold content in that band. You know, people were telling me like a couple $100 is all they'd be willing to give for a ring like that, which is pretty crazy. But literally, I got stuck with this ring. I had something that was marked up way more than it would ever be. Would have been lucky to get $1,000 out of, probably, on the secondhand market, unless I really had somebody that wanted that ring in particular and had the cash. I was stuck with this ring. So that just goes to show you guys of how much things in the jewelry industry is marked up and how underhanded things can be when it comes to especially diamonds. Like I said, precious metals are always worth money. And gold, silver, platinum, things like that, even copper. That stuff is always worth a base set amount of money. But when you start getting into diamonds and paying high money for diamonds, this is where you're going to lose your back. Now, if you want to buy that, that's all good and fine. Just know it's for her enjoyment and for her to show off and feel good about and to be happy with. And it's for her sentimental reasons that she should have for your whole marriage or for her lifetime. So that's it, guys. I just want to tell you about that little jewelry scam story. That was a pretty smart scam those guys were pulling in the jewelry industry. If I can find that video on YouTube of these guys actually doing that scam, I will link that video in the description box below this video that you can go click on and go watch these guys try to pull that scam. They got a lot of people, because of greed, As soon as this guy said, I'll take the money and put the fake chain back through the window, these guys were grabbing it and giving the cash as fast as they could, because they knew that they could turn that 24 karat gold necklace and get real solid cash out of it. So, all right, guys, until next time, this is DOF, and I'm out.